This is Recipe for Sleep, a podcast where we dust off very old cookbooks and let them lull us into dreamland. We'd love for you to join our community at thanksalt.com, where I share my own recipes and stories, including a recipe for a sunshine omelet from the very cookbook we'll read from this evening. And if you find this is indeed your recipe for sleep, consider rating and reviewing, or just tell a friend. I'm Erin Brindley, a chef and storyteller. In this podcast, I read old cookbooks to you until you fall asleep. Not only do we peek into the kitchens of the past, but sometimes, like this week, we get to imagine a life completely different from our own, where our greatest concern is how to create a menu for a fancy breakfast with our friends that does not bore, even without the help of a caterer or maid. Attractive Menus by Harriet Warner, published in 1916, addresses these and other pressing issues, such as the importance of snow-white linens, matching flower arrangements to your menu, and proper placement of silverware, if you must preset it instead of laying it as each course is served. Tonight, you get to fancy yourself the lady of a great manor and imagine the elegant hosting you will do. A bit more like a fantasy story than a cookbook for most of us. All layered skirts, corsets, and huge flowered hats. Now, turn the lights out. Put away anything you were doing, and snuggle deep into your sweet covers. Imagine the kitchen of your mind. There are 2 cupboards there. Yesterday's cupboard, for all the things that have already happened that your mind wants to chew on. And tomorrow's cupboard, for all the things you're going to do or what's going to happen later. It's time to put everything away in those cupboards and imagine closing each one. You made it to this cozy, quiet time of day where there's nothing to do but listen to me read you old cookbooks until you drift off to sleep. You may notice the epigraph in this cookbook is a bit of a poem you've heard in a previous episode. You'll hear it again. Cookbooks of this era seem to love to start things off here. Attractive Menus by Harriet Warner, Bay City, Michigan. Price $2. Copyright 1916. We can live without friends. We can live without books. But civilized man cannot live without cooks. Lord Lytton. Introduction. This book has been written because we are aware of the perplexities which face the woman of today, particularly in places where the services of a caterer cannot be obtained. When she undertakes to entertain her friends at breakfast, luncheons, and dinners, and desires to serve something out of the ordinary. Even what she may glean from magazines is perhaps copied by her neighbors, and every up-to-date woman wants something different. That the hostess herself must probably prepare the meal without the help of a maid has also been considered, and the recipes we have chosen are designed to make its preparation as easy as possible. Many of them can be prepared the day before. A hostess is judged to a certain extent by the kind of food she provides. Certain things are good at certain times, with some combinations, and very much out of place with others. The table. Have your dining room table tastefully arranged with snow-white linen, proper napkins for each meal. Many people are now using luncheon or breakfast sets, which are perfectly proper. But pure white linen is always in good taste. Flowers are very effective, but if used, choose the colors carried out in your menu. We will be glad to design special centerpieces for you for any special function at a very small cost. To set the table properly, first lay the silence pad, then the tablecloth perfectly even. Small tables may be used for large gatherings if desired. On the right of the plate, place knives in order to be used, edges turned towards the plate. The soup spoon and teaspoon at right of knife. It is very good taste to lay silver as each course is served, but most women prefer to lay all at once, removing the used silver after each course. At the left of the plate, place forks, tines up, in the order to be used, the napkin at left of forks. Place glass at right just above the knife, and if bread and butter plate is to be used, place at the left just above the forks. The favors and place cards directly in front of the plate. If a family meal, usually the hostess sits at the head of the table, with the host at the foot, the other members of family occupying seats at sides. When a guest is a lady, she occupies the seat at left of the host. If a gentleman, the one at the right of hostess. Serving. If the hostess has no maid, she may perhaps be able to get a couple of friends to aid her in serving a number of guests. You perhaps already know that every dish placed in front of guests should be placed from their right. Things passed by waiter always served at their left. Garnishing. A few suggestions might be in place right here in regards to garnishing dishes. A few sprigs of parsley, always being correct with any meat or fruit. If you are in doubt as to what is proper, remember this rule. Let the garnishing be something which would be apt to be served with the main ingredient of salad, if that ingredient were served in some other way. Pickles or lemons are very good in a fish salad, and celery and olives in a salad containing chicken. We furnish special menus for any bridal, any holiday, or any children's parties with any colors desired at a small expense to you. Menus. Breakfasts. A hostess may always be able to serve fruit, as some sort is always procurable during the entire year. After the course, which you would serve on individual plate from perhaps a basket in center of table using fruit knives, serve a cereal, then eggs or meat if preferred, with rolls, gems, or toast, and a cup of tea, coffee, or cocoa, always having everything hot and tasty. Breakfast number 1. Grapefruit, flakes, golden glow omelet, wheat muffins, tea, coffee, or cocoa. Grapefruit. Grapefruit cut in halves, loosen from skin by scissors all sections, and place on plates with bits of firm jelly. Sprinkle with sugar and chill before serving. The flakes may be of your own choosing, but they must be crisp. Serve with cream. These may be served by hostess from her place at table if desired. Golden Glow Omelette. To serve 6 people. Break 8 eggs, yolks and whites separately, beating yolks well and whites until stiff. Make a cup of thick white sauce using 1 tablespoon of flour to a good cup of milk and 2 tablespoons of butter. Cool. Add this to the yolks, whites, and a small teaspoon of baking powder. Season well. Put into a buttered bake dish and bake about 20 minutes or until set and slightly browned. This may be served by host. Wheat muffins. 1 egg, 1 pint sweet milk, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of sugar, 2 1/2 teaspoons of royal baking powder, 4 cups whole wheat flour. Bake about 15 minutes. Breakfast 2. Cantaloupe, panned chops, creamed potatoes, Palm Beach rolls, coffee, tea, or cocoa. Cantaloupe. Select firm, ripe fruit. Chill thoroughly, cutting in halves. Serve individually with salt or sugar as one prefers. Panned chops. Trim and wipe small chops. Heat frying pan until it smokes all over. Rub bottom with a bit of fat. Lay chops in and turn every 10 seconds, keeping pan very hot. Season when partly done. Serve on a hot platter. Creamed potatoes. Make a cream sauce by rubbing 2 tablespoons flour into 2 tablespoons butter and adding gradually 2 cups of cream. Add diced potatoes and season well. Palm Beach rolls. 2 cups pastry flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of butter, and 2/3 cup of sweet milk. Mix as for biscuit roll to 1/3 inch thickness, cut with round or oval cutter. Crease through center with the end of a case knife dipped in flour. Brush 1/2 with butter and fold over. Bake 15 minutes in quick oven. Breakfast number 3. Orange Delight, date cereal, broiled salt mackerel, potato fondue, toast, and coffee. Cut oranges in halves, loosen up pulp, to which add small pieces of grapefruit, a few nuts if desired, and a cherry. Sweeten to taste. Serve individually using orange spoons. Date cereal. Cook 1 cup cream of wheat in about a quart of water. Add salt, and when nearly ready to serve, add 1/2 cup of chopped dates. Serve with cream and sugar. Broiled salt mackerel. Select a large, thick mackerel. Cut off the head and tail and put in a large pan skin side up. Cover with cold water and set in a cool place for 36 hours. When ready to cook, wipe dry. Grease a wire broiler. Lay on fish and broil over coals on flesh side until nearly done, then a minute or 2 on skin side. If you have no coals, bake in oven for 20 minutes. Garnish with onions and hard-boiled eggs and dot with plenty of butter. Add a little lemon juice and serve hot. Potato fondue. Add some cream to the cold potatoes and heat. Then beat until very light. Add the yolk of an egg, also the white beaten stiff, separately. Put in casserole and cover with half a cup of cream and sprinkle with dry breadcrumbs. Bake about 15 minutes. Breakfast number 4. Strawberries in baskets. Broiled bacon and eggs. Graham muffins. Paramount fried cakes. Coffee. Strawberries in baskets. Prepare berries as for ordinary serving. Heat shredded wheat biscuits in oven before using. Cut out oblong cavity to form baskets. Fill with berries and serve with cream. Sweeten to taste. You may use any other fruit desired. Broiled bacon. Have a pan hot. Keep turning trimmed bacon until browned and done. Lay on center of hot platter. Garnish with eggs fried in the bacon grease and parsley. Graham muffins. 1 cup graham or entire wheat flour. 1 cup flour, 1/4 cup sugar, teaspoon of salt, 1 cup sweet milk, 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of melted butter, 3 1/2 teaspoons royal baking powder. Mix and sift dry ingredients. Add milk very gradually, the egg well beaten, and melted butter. Bake in hot oven in buttered gem pans. Paramount fried cakes. 2 eggs, beaten light, 7 level tablespoons of sugar, 17 tablespoons sweet milk, 2 tablespoons melted butter, salt, 1 quart flour, 3 teaspoons of baking powder. Cut with small round cutter, not over 2 inches in diameter. Fry in deep fat and roll in powdered sugar. These are also delicious for afternoon teas. Breakfast number 5. Winona apples, cream oatmeal, boiled eggs, cinnamon toast, coffee. Winona apples. Cut out cores from nice, firm apples, but do not peel. Northern spies are very good. Fill center with brown sugar, butter, and little cinnamon. Cook until well done, but do not let fall to pieces. Serve cold with a spoonful of whipped cream, to which you may add a nut or cherry. Boiled eggs. Pour boiling water over eggs and set on back of stove for 7 minutes, or soft boiled for 3 minutes. Cinnamon toast. Toast bread carefully and butter. Keep hot. Take 1 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup of water, and 1 rounding teaspoon of cinnamon. Cook until it hairs. Spread over the toast while hot. This is delicious for afternoon teas. Luncheon number 1. Cream of tomato soup, croutons, baked ham Southern style with Aunt Ella's mustard, Duchess potatoes, sweet potato cones, royal palm salad, Spanish wafers, peach custard, coffee. Cream tomato soup. 1 pint tomatoes, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 saltspoon of white pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of soda, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, 1/3 cup of butter, 1 quart of milk. Add soda and seasoning to tomatoes when boiling. Add cornstarch, wet with cold water, and boil 10 minutes. Strain and add with the butter to let the milk already heated in a double boiler. Beat thoroughly and serve at once. Serve with a spoonful of whipped cream on which sprinkle paprika. This quantity will serve 8 people. Croutons should be served with this. Southern baked ham. Boil a Swift's premium ham, or a good one having at least 1 inch of fat on outside, until very tender, boiling slowly. When well done, remove from water, remove skin, and sprinkle with brown sugar, a few breadcrumbs, and press cloves into the fat part. Bake until nicely browned in oven. A 10-pound ham will serve 50 people. Aunt Ella's mustard. 3 level tablespoonfuls of mustard, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1/2 teaspoon salt. Mix and add a beaten egg. After mixing until smooth, add 3/4 a cup of weak vinegar and cook in a double boiler until thick. Duchess potatoes. Peel potatoes and chop in wooden bowl with a chopping knife to cubes a trifle larger than good-sized peas. Put in dish and cover with cream and a little milk. For a large dish, use at least a quart of cream, having liquid cover potatoes fully 1 inch. Season well until milk is a little more salty than you like. Cover well and cook 2 hours, then place on the back of stove until ready to serve. Sweet potato cones. Select long, straight sweet potatoes. Pare and core in halves, crosswise, making 2 cones about 3½ inches long. Boil in salt water until they can be pierced with a fork. Then roll in granulated sugar and fry in butter on all sides until a golden brown. Serve with cone standing on its base, 1 for each plate. Royal palm salad. 1/2 dozen oranges, 3 grapefruit, 1/2 pound soft marshmallows, quartered with scissors. Arrange in individual molds, over which pour lemon jello to cover. When ready to serve, turn out on leaf of head lettuce. Add a large teaspoon of our cream salad dressing and garnish with chopped nut meats. Queen cream salad dressing. 2 tablespoons flour, 2 tablespoons butter. Mix together and heat in a double boiler and add 1 cup of milk. Stir together 3 tablespoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon of dry mustard, salt and pepper, 2 eggs, 2/3 of a cup of vinegar, and fill cup with water. Add to heated mixture and cook until thick. Beat until cold. In serving, add whipped cream. Peach custard. Make 1 crust as for lemon pie. Fill with peaches cut fine. Canned ones may be used if desired. Pour over this a sweetened custard made with milk and eggs. Cover all with whipped cream. Cut as you would any pie. Luncheon number 2. Grapefruit cocktail, chicken a la Paramount, Parker House potatoes, French peas, Heart's Ease salad, nut bread hearts, olives, celery, Queen Louise dessert, grapefruit cocktail. Scoop out grapefruit with teaspoon, having pulp very fine. Quarter marshmallows. Cover with juice of fruit and let stand 3 hours. Chill and serve in glasses with cubes of red jelly. Season with sugar to taste. Chicken à la Paramount. Dress, clean, and truss a 4-pound chicken. Place it on a trivet in a kettle, half surrounded with boiling water, and let cook slowly until tender, occasionally turning the bird. Add salt when partly cooked. Remove the fowl and chill stock and remove all cakes of fat. Melt 2 tablespoons of butter or the chicken fat. Add 1½ tablespoons cornstarch and stir until smooth. Then pour on gradually while stirring 3/4 of a cup of the stock, 1/4 cup cream, and 1/2 cup milk. Bring to the boiling point and season with salt and paprika. Now add 1 cup of cold white meat cut in cubes, 1/2 cup of peeled and sliced mushroom caps, sautéed in 1 tablespoon butter 2 minutes, and 1/4 cup canned pimento. Again, heat, and just before serving, add 3 tablespoons of butter and the yolk of 1 egg slightly beaten. This is nice to serve from a chafing dish. Parker House potatoes. Cook potatoes and mash, adding cream, but do not make too moist. Season well and let cool slightly. To 1 quart of potatoes, add 1 egg well beaten and mold into rolls about 2 1/2 inches long and 1 1/2 inches thick. Brush top with egg well beaten. Place on buttered pan and bake in oven about 15 minutes or until well heated through and nicely browned. Place on plate with twig of parsley pressed on top. French peas. 1 can of peas, from which drain off all liquor and heat in a cream sauce made of 1 cup cream or rich milk, salt, pepper, and tablespoon of butter, and thickened with 1 teaspoon of cornstarch dissolved in a little milk. Serve in ramekins. Heart's Ease salad. Take a small head lettuce, cut in 2 crosswise. Place on lettuce leaf. Garnish top with pimentos chopped very fine, and serve with the cream salad dressing. Nut bread hearts. 2 1/2 cups white flour. 2 1/2 teaspoons royal baking powder. 1 spoon of salt. 1/2 cup white sugar. 3/4 cup of walnut meats chopped very fine. 1 egg. 1 cup sweet milk. Sift all dry ingredients together 3 times. Add nut meats and then milk, to which beaten egg has been added. Beat well and bake 1 hour. Cut in thin slices and make heart shape with cutter. Cover with the following dressing: 1 package dates chopped, 1/2 package raisins chopped, 1/2 cup sugar. Cook until thick and serve cold, covering bread. Garnish each piece with a red maraschino cherry. This will serve 20 people. Queen Louise dessert. A sunshine cake made in a round angel food mold. Trim out center with a sharp knife until space will take in a pint of holly ice cream frozen solid. Cover whole with whipped cream, slightly sweetened, and serve at once. We always use our Queen Louise cake for this delicious dessert. Luncheon number 3. Oyster cocktail, vermilion veal, escalloped potatoes, Spanish corn, finger rolls, jelly, Pershing salad, wafers, cake, holly ice cream, coffee. Oyster cocktail. Serve in small glasses, 5 oysters to a glass. Cover with sauce below. 1 can tomatoes, 1 teaspoon pepper, 1 teaspoon mustard, 1/4 teaspoon cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon allspice, 1/2 tablespoon salt, 1/2 cup vinegar. Cook slowly 2 hours and rub through sieve. In a serving, add a little chopped celery or grated horseradish. Chill well. Tomato catsup may be used instead of this sauce as given. Vermilion veal. Use veal steak. Cut in squares, breading each on all sides by dipping in beaten egg and rolling in fine breadcrumbs. Place in pan. Season. Add butter and a little water. Cover and cook slowly in oven 1 hour. Brown the last 15 minutes. Escalloped potatoes. Peel potatoes and slice thin. Grease a pan and put in a layer of potatoes and season with salt, pepper, and bits of butter. Sprinkle with flour. Then another layer of potatoes and season as before. Continue until pan is nearly filled. Then add rich milk or cream until it can be seen at sides, and cover all with shredded wheat biscuit crumbs and a few bits of butter. Bake 1 hour. Spanish corn. Melt 4 tablespoons of butter. Add 5 tablespoons of flour, 1 1/2 cups milk, 1 1/2 teaspoons salt, 3/4 teaspoons of mustard. Add 1/4 can of pimentos and green peppers chopped fine, 1 can corn, 1 egg, 3 teaspoons Worcestershire sauce. Cover with breadcrumbs and bake until brown, or served in ramekins or scallop shells. Pershing salad. Drain the juice from 1 can of Bartlett pears. Cut lengthwise and arrange in salad plate. Fill centers with walnut meats and Malaga grapes, mixed with mayonnaise dressing. Garnish with heart leaves of lettuce. Serve with toasted wafers. Holly ice cream. See recipe dinner number 2. Luncheon number 4. Cherry cocktail. Soup à la Seine. Reception flakes. Alaskan salmon loaf. Potato nests. Berlin salad. Marshmallow delight. Cherry cocktail. Select large lemons, and from pointed end of each, cut off a slice to form a lid for a cup. With a sharp pointed spoon, remove all pulp and juice from inside of each lemon and put in an ice box until ready to serve. Stone and bruise as many ripe cherries as are needed. Chop fine and add a tablespoon of lemon juice to each cup of cherries and sweeten to taste. Strain or not as preferred. Serve in the lemon cups in a circle of watercress with a garnish of whole cherries on the stem. Large cherry currants may be used in the same way. Soup à la Seine. 1 cup fresh lettuce chopped fine in a meat chopper. Heat 3 pints milk to boiling point and thicken with 1 tablespoon flour rubbed smooth with cold milk. Add 1 teaspoon salt and lettuce and heat again to boiling point. Add 1 tablespoon butter after taking from stove. Spinach or asparagus may be used instead of lettuce. Alaskan salmon loaf. 1 canned salmon. Remove all skins and bones. 3 eggs beaten light. 1 cup breadcrumbs. 1 cup milk. 4 tablespoons of melted butter. Season with salt and pepper. Mix well and steam 1/2 hour. Potato nests. Mashed potatoes. Add chopped pimentos to peas, cream, and serve with a spoonful of this in the center of potato mound. Berlin salad. Fry 6 slices of bacon chopped fine until crisp. Add this to 1/2 cup vinegar, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Shred 1 head of red cabbage and pour the liquid over it. Serve on a crisp lettuce leaf. Marshmallow delight. Add a pinch of salt to whites of 3 eggs and beat until very stiff. Then add 1 tablespoon of Knox gelatin dissolved in 1/2 cup of cold water. Beating a little of it into the eggs at a time, then slowly beat in 1/2 cup of granulated sugar and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Now, take out 1/3 of batter and to this add red food coloring and a 6 maraschino cherries chopped fine. Put together in a deep dish in layers, red in center, and between each layer, sprinkle chopped nuts. Serve with whipped cream or sauce made from yolks of eggs. Set pudding in icebox to chill. Pudding sauce. Heat 1 1/2 cups of milk. Add 1/2 cup of sugar and pinch of salt. Beat the yolks of 3 eggs. Add a little milk and add to hot milk. Cook until thickened slightly. Serve cold. Luncheon number 5. Grapefruit and half shell or fruit cocktail. Veal heart and cold tongue. Creamed potatoes. Jelly. Rose salad. Toasted cheese wafers. Winona sherbet. Cake. Coffee. Grapefruit and half shell. Cut fruit in halves. Remove pulp in small pieces with a spoon. Cut out all sections from skin and fill half with bits of grapefruit mixed with white grapes, seeded and halved. Fruit cocktail. Remove pulp from 3 large navel oranges and mix lightly with 1/2 cup shredded pineapple and the same amount of sliced strawberries, and set on ice until thoroughly chilled. In the meantime, boil 1 cupful of water, 1 cupful of sugar, and 1/2 cupful of lemon juice for 10 minutes, then strain. Add 3 tablespoonfuls of other fruit juice and chill also. Combine the fruit and syrup and serve either in orange shells or in dainty cocktail glasses. Veal heart and cold tongue. Cook hearts until tender, seasoning well. When cold, slice thin. Wash clean the beef tongue. Put in kettle with water to cover. Add plenty of salt and a small pod of red pepper. Boil very slowly. Keep covered until tongue is nearly done. Let cook until it can be pierced easily with a fork. Do not peel until wanted for table. Soak salt tongue overnight, omitting salt when cooking. Cream potatoes. Cut boiled potatoes in cubes. Make sauce as follows. To 1 tablespoon of flour creamed with 1 tablespoon butter, add 1 cup of cream and cook until thick, stirring constantly. Add the potato cubes and season well and let heat thoroughly. Rose salad. 1 can of sliced pineapple, 4 oranges, 2 grapefruits, 1 package lemon jello. Cut up oranges and grapefruit and put in individual molds in which has been placed a flower cut from pimento with a lengthwise slice of olive for stem. Pour jello, when beginning to set or cool, over the fruit, covering well. Set on ice to cool. Serve on a lettuce leaf and slice of pineapple. Serve dressing in mayonnaise dish so as not to cover this beautiful salad. Toasted cheese wafers. Take thin slices of bread. Spread with a little butter. Sprinkle with grated cheese. Make into sandwiches. Toast on both sides slowly to thoroughly melt cheese. Winona sherbet. 3 oranges, 3 lemons, 3 bananas, 3 cups sugar, 1 cup cream, 5 cups milk. Mash bananas. Add sugar, then orange juice, then the lemon juice last. Add milk and freeze. Serve a sunshine cake with this, or, if you have our cake book, use the Queen Louise cake. Dinner number 1. Consommé patty. Olives. Celery. Baked lake trout with hollandaise sauce. Sauté potatoes. Winona capon. Cranberry sauce, mashed potatoes, stringed beans, asparagus, salad Milanese, salted wafers, palmetto pudding, coffee. Consommé patty. A clear beef soup. Clarify with beaten white of egg. Strain and serve with a little cooked rice. Cubes of chicken and peas, cooked and added after soup is strained. Baked lake trout. 3 pounds trout. Do not remove head. Wash, wipe dry, and roll in wet salted napkin. Dressing. 1 cup cracker crumbs, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 1/4 teaspoon pepper, 1 tablespoon chopped onion, 1 tablespoon parsley, 1 tablespoon capers, 1 tablespoon chopped sour pickle. Mix thoroughly. Stuff fish and sew up. Cut deep gashes down the back and lard with strips of fat salt pork. Bake 40 minutes in hot oven and serve with hollandaise sauce. Hollandaise sauce. 2 tablespoons butter, 1 egg, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 3 shakes pepper, juice of 1 lemon, 1/2 cup boiling water. Thicken over boiling water. Sauté potatoes. Cold boiled potatoes, sliced thin and browned in butter. Don't break. Winona capon. Boiled chicken. When cold, cut in small pieces. Add about 1/2 pound of sweetbreads, which have been well soaked and cooked for about 5 minutes. Make a gravy of 4 tablespoons of butter, 5 tablespoons flour, and 1 quart hot cream. Part milk may be used. Pour over chicken and sweetbreads, to which 1 cup of mushrooms cooked in their own liquor has been added. Season with salt, pepper, onion juice, and nutmeg. Mix well. Put in baking dish, cover with breadcrumbs, bits of butter, and bake about 20 minutes or until brown. String beans. These are very delicious, cut up and cooked in chicken broth. Season well. Asparagus tips. Cook tender in salt water and drain well. Pour over them drawn butter sauce as follows: 3 tablespoons butter, creamed with 1 of flour, over which pour boiling water until the thickness of thick cream. Season. Salad Milanaise. Mix 1 heaping tablespoon sugar, 1 teaspoon mustard, 1/2 teaspoon salt, a very little paprika and cayenne. Blend thoroughly. Melt 1 tablespoon butter. Add it slowly to the well-beaten yolks of 2 eggs, with the seasoning 1/3 cup vinegar, 2/3 cup milk. Cook in a double boiler, stirring constantly until thick. Remove from fire. Beat a moment with an egg beater, and add slowly 1 cup of stiffly whipped cream. Cut in pieces 1/2 of a pineapple, 2 bananas, 3 oranges, and a small bottle of maraschino cherries. Mix the fruit together, drain, and mix with the prepared dressing. Pour in a brick mold with a watertight cover and bury in ice and rock salt for 4 hours. To serve, unmold, cut in slices, and arrange on lettuce leaves. Palmetto dessert. Allow 3 figs for each portion. Wash, cut out stem end. Place in a double boiler or fireless cooker 1 hour until thoroughly heated. Arrange the hot figs in individual dessert dishes around a central small mold of orange cubes, skinned and sprinkled with sugar. Border with whipped cream, sweetened and slightly flavored with orange juice. Dinner number 2. Oysters on half shell. Duchess soup. Salted almonds. Salmon rosettes. Latticed potatoes. Roast sirloin of beef with browned potatoes. Turnip surprise. Macaroni and cheese. Alexandria salad. Holly ice cream. Wafers. Coffee. Cake. Duchess soup. 1 quart of milk. 2 onions. 2 tablespoons butter. 2 tablespoons of flour. 2 tablespoons grated cheese. Salt and pepper. Put milk on to boil. Fry butter and onions together. Add dry flour and cook 2 minutes longer, being careful not to burn. Stir into the milk and cook 2 minutes. Rub through strainer and return to fire. Now add cheese and season to taste with salt and pepper. Beat 1 egg, then with 2 tablespoons of liquid, and pour into the soup slowly, stirring all the time. Do not boil again, but let stand 3 minutes when it is hot. Salted almonds. Take nut meats, blanch, cook in olive oil until golden brown, and spread upon a paper and sprinkle with salt. Salmon rosettes. 1 can of salmon. Pick out bones. Rinse can with a little water and use as juice. Salt and pepper to taste. Roll about 20 crackers, then mix with salmon. Stir in the beaten yolk of 1 egg. Make into small cakes and dip in beaten white of egg. Roll in cracker crumbs and fry in butter. Latticed potatoes. Select potatoes of equal size and shape. Wash and scrub them and then slice on vegetable slicer. Drop at once onto cold water for a little time. Then put them into fresh water with a piece of ice until thoroughly chilled. Drain a few of the slices at a time. Pat dry on a napkin. Put in a frying basket and immersed in boiling hot fat. Drain. Sprinkle with salt and pepper. Serve hot with fish. Roast sirloin of beef. Get a large sirloin roast. The larger the better. Place in bake pan and cover with small, thin slices of suet. Put in a hot oven, gradually reducing the heat after it is well heated through. Bake until tender. Season and serve on large platter and garnish with potatoes baked with meat and sprigs of parsley. Turnip surprise. Select a large, firm yellow turnip. Wash, pare, and cut in strips 2 inches long and 1/4 inch wide. Soak for some time in cold water. Drain and cook gently in boiling, salted water until tender. The pieces should retain their shape, so the water must not boil hard. Drain, add butter, pepper, and salt to taste. Now fry slices of bacon, diced, until crisp, but do not brown. Then pour contents of the pan over the turnips. Cover and shake the kettle gently so that the bacon flavor may get into every piece. Macaroni and cheese. Put macaroni into rapidly boiling salted water and boil about 20 minutes. Then drain in colander and pour cold water over it to remove pastiness. Reheat in a white, brown, or tomato sauce. Before sending to table, sprinkle thickly with grated cheese or stir cheese through it. The Alexandra salad. Allow a hard head of lettuce for each person to be served. Take off all the green outer leaves, then with a sharp knife, cut out the very heart of the lettuce, leaving a nest. Put into this hollow first a layer of crisp celery, cut in short pieces and shredded fine. On this foundation, lay pieces of the grapefruit pulp until the cavity is filled. On top, lay 4 fresh cherries, or if necessary, the preserved ones. And over the whole, pour a light French salad dressing. Holly ice cream. Beat 3 eggs until very light. Add 1/2 cup flour, wet with milk, and 1 cup sugar. Heat 1 quart milk in double boiler and add above and cook until it thickens. Let cool. Add 1 pint cream and 1 more cup sugar and 1 teaspoon vanilla. Strain and freeze. Serve with sponge cake, or we use our Queen Louise cake. Dinner number 3. Fruit cocktail. Clam soup. Croutons. Porterhouse steak a la mushroom. Potato on half shell. Holland beets. Squash in shell. Shrimp salad. Toasted crackers. Hamilton frozen pudding. Fruit cocktail. 5 greening apples. 3 oranges. 2½ tablespoons sugar. Remove pulp from oranges and put in bowl. Pare apples and cut in small cubes right over orange pulp, as the orange juice keeps it from turning dark. Add sugar and mix lightly with a fork. Chill thoroughly before serving. Garnish with candied cherries. Clam soup. 36 clams, chopped fine. 1½ pints water, using clam liquid as far as it will go. 1 pint milk. 4 tablespoons flour. 4 tablespoons butter. 3 well-beaten eggs. Salt and pepper. Boil clams 3 minutes and remove. Add butter, flour, and milk. Let just boil up. The last thing before serving, add eggs. Croutons. Cut stale bread in 1/3 inch slices and remove crust. Spread a little butter on each piece. Then cut slices in 1/3 inch cubes, put in a pan, and bake until very light brown. Serve with the clam soup. Porterhouse steak a la mushroom. Have thick cut of tender steak. Trim and broil or fry until done, turning every 10 seconds. Remove to hot platter. Add 1 can of button mushrooms, this amount for about 2 pounds of meat, to grease in pan. 2 cups of rich milk to thicken, about the consistency of thick cream. Season and pour over steak. Potato on half shell. Select medium-sized potatoes. Wash using a vegetable brush. Bake in hot oven from 30 to 40 minutes or until soft. Remove from oven. Cut a slice from the top of each and scoop out the inside. Mash. Add 2 tablespoons melted butter, 2 tablespoons of salt, 1/2 teaspoonful of pepper, and 6 tablespoons hot cream. Now, add the beaten yolks of 2 eggs, or the stiffly beaten whites of 2 eggs. Refill the skins and bake for 5 minutes in a hot oven. Brush potatoes with beaten egg or melted butter and sprinkle with finely chopped parsley. Holland beets. 2 bunches of beets. 1 tablespoon butter. 1 cupful bouillon or boiling water. 1 tablespoonful flour. 2 or 3 tablespoons vinegar. 2 tablespoons cream. Wash beets. Cook in boiling water until done. Remove skins. Cool and chop fine. Brown the butter and flour very slightly in saucepan, stirring constantly to keep the mixture smooth. Gradually add warm bouillon or boiling water and vinegar to taste. Put in beets and let all come to a boil. Just before serving, mix thoroughly with cream. Decorate top of dish with tiny sprigs of parsley. Squash in shell. Cut squash in squares, about 3½ inch square. Bake in oven until done. Serve individually, seasoned, and with liberal pieces of butter. Shrimp salad. Take a 15-cent can of shrimps, 4 medium-sized cooked potatoes, 1 onion, 1 cupful ripe olives, 2 stalks celery, 1 tablespoon chopped parsley, 2 hard-boiled eggs, and 1 cup of queen cream salad dressing. Wash and dry shrimps. Dice potatoes, onions, and celery. Cut olives from stone and slice eggs. Mix shrimps with potatoes and dressing. Add onion, celery, and olives. Chill and serve decorated with eggs, parsley, and whole olives. Hamilton frozen pudding. Beat the yolks of 5 eggs slightly and add 1 cup sugar, 1/2 teaspoon salt, and 3 cups milk. Cook over hot water, stirring constantly until mixture thickens. Strain and cool. Then flavor with 1 tablespoon vanilla and 2 1/2 tablespoons brandy, and add whites of 5 eggs beaten until stiff, and 1 1/2 cups heavy cream beaten until stiff. Freeze using 3 parts finely crushed ice and 1 part rock salt. Pack in brick mold until serving time. Remove from mold to chilled serving dish and surround with strawberries cut in halves and sprinkled with sugar. Sweet dreams.